Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to talk to you guys about sacred geometry, ancient geometry, the Fibonacci sequence, and the golden ratio. Now, this is cool stuff. This is something that I haven't even really come across myself, but I've just been figuring out. And if you notice, like the Romans and like the ancient Egyptians and even the Hindus, and you just look at some of the Hindu temples. And they're built on a whole other level. Like can't even explain how they're built. Well, they're kind of coming out with it now about frequencies, vibration, stuff like that. Something we could be implementing today, but our entire world has been like covered over us. Kind of like in the Matrix, where like they're really hiding a lot of stuff, and it goes deep. But when you notice our vehicles, our houses, everything around us that we spend the majority of our time in, is built against the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio. And the golden ratio is built, the same math is built right in our arms. It's our belly button to our toes, to our head portion, to our arms, our bicep to our forearm. It's the 1 to 1.6 ratio. And the Ark of the Covenant was the 1 to 1.6 ratio. All the math in the Egyptian pyramids is the Fibonacci sequence, which all lines up with the golden ratio. All the nature around us, including ourselves, all the way up into the atmosphere, into the universe, is all the golden ratio, the Fibonacci sequence. The math that produces is the same math that nature produces, and how we all grow. So in a sense, it's like an antenna on this earth, and it's generating energy from the universe. It's generating, power. So when you go into these Hindu temples, and certain, I don't know about the Egyptian pyramids, if they're power plants or not, but the Hindu temples, you can go into and you can meditate and you can do other things, but you can manifest way faster in these things. Now, if you look at our side, like we have like a magnetic field up to 8-9 feet around us, and the chakra system, you got your root chakra, your heart chakra, throat chakra, your crown chakra, and all the in between. Eventually, when you get to your crown chakra, you're like blue, purple, and then white. It's just pure white light. And when we're filled with light, white light, we're filled with love. And this the language of humans is love. Repetition and love. Let's just say that. And the white light is literally, when you look at, let's say, like a geodesic dome or a Hindu temple or the Egyptian pyramids, if you could x-ray the light coming out of those things, they'd be pure white, because they're built in the same math as we are. So if you could design a car, let's say, within that golden ratio, and so forth, a house, you can easily do doorways. You could do the wall extensions, like 1 to 1.6 high, length. You could do all that, and you could call it the Egyptian cubit. That's the math they used. And our matrix system is super bizarre. It's super not lined up with what is real. If we wanted to build properly, we need to use the old math from the old Egyptian pyramids. But theoretically, you'd be able to go in your own home, and your consciousness would increase. And consciousness is connected to wisdom. So you'd literally get smarter in your own home. And I believe in the past, that you look at the Roman empires and everything, they all had the golden ratio built in, from the front doors to the pillars, to the heights, to the width, to the everything they could involve that math, they would involve that math. And there was a reason for that, and it's because they were increasing everybody's consciousness. Everybody was getting wiser. Everyone was getting healthier. There's all kinds of experiments nowadays where people put triangles, which is the Fibonacci sequence, or the tetrahedron. They put that on their kitchen counter, and they put a banana underneath it, and then they put, let's say, something else, a banana right beside that, and then all of a sudden the banana that's not underneath the tetrahedron starts to go bad, because it's like oxygenates. And all disease is pretty much just your body oxygenating. Breaking down like rust on a car, it's pretty much like a disease on a human. It just kind of colonizes a certain area of your body, where it enjoys the pH, of that specific organ or problem, and it starts giving you inflammation there. So when you think of these Hindu temples, they literally were healing temples. They were churches. They were conscious enhancers. They'd help us really, almost, allow us to really connect deep into this world and see this world a totally different way. And that's why we can't explain a lot of our past, because our past is, we've literally been smothered with sound frequencies, 440 hertz from the radio, You know, it should be 432 hertz, like Pink Floyd and Mozart and Beethoven and all those other amazing singers. They all practice the 9 solfeggio frequencies, and those 9 solfeggio frequencies are the those tunes that allow us to raise our consciousness and create, you know, happiness on earth, or heaven on earth, or allow us to reach our pineal gland. Michael Jackson, you know, started realizing this same stuff that I'm talking to you about. That's when he started talking about, you know, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race, because he was starting to figure shit out. And then he started putting like government, you know, videos in his things, showing like the government destroying our earth and our nature and all this other stuff. And he was really starting to, you know, wake up and figure that they were using his music to almost make people sick, in a sense, because he recorded all his music at 432, and they would broadcast at 440 hertz, which is, they call it the devil's interval. It's like a bunch of weird frequencies, you know, smashing into each other, causing like damage in ourselves that we don't really realize it's causing this damage. Mozart, Beethoven, they all studied this stuff. That's why a lot of billionaires listen to classical music in the morning. Hopefully they're listening to 432, you know, hertz or whatever it is. But yeah, there's some really wild stuff amongst us. And if we just started changing all of our housing into the golden ratio, the fibonacci, this whole planet would start just awakening on another level. So I just want to like kind of like let that out of the bag a little bit. Something I've been thinking about a lot lately. There's probably a few things I'm leaving out here, but for now, you know, we really look deep, guys, when you're looking at the world and what's around us. You know, look at our past. Our past isn't explainable. And when you look at, you know, all these weird structures and shapes, like there's geometries in all of nature, you know what I mean? Like octahedrons and tetrahedrons. And, you know, when you look at Nikola Tesla saying, you know, if you understand the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, you have the key to the universe. And he's referring to the angles and a lot of geometry. Like you look at a circle, 360 degrees, 3 plus 6 is 9. A 45-degree square, 4 plus 5 is 9. You know what I mean? You look at all the 9 solfeggio frequencies all line up to the shapes and the geometry, and it's the sounds that make up those somatics, those frequencies and those shapes. So when you start to look at us as humans, you know what I mean, we can increase our consciousness, we can supercharge our minds, we can become superhuman. You know, first of all, it's about believing. Second, it's about intention. Third, it's about involving like love and just wow, the whole wow and awesome factor behind it. And then now you're going to get the Holy Trinity, where your heart and your mind are going to sync up, and beautiful things are going to happen. You're going to be on a whole other level. You know, meditation, you know, stuff like that helps. But being in nature, first of all, being the sounds of nature is 432. Perfectly, all the wind, the birds, everything just sings perfectly at 432. They're perfectly synced up. So, you know, when you do forest bathing or you're out in the forest and you're doing your thing and you're just slowly looking through the forest, checking out the leaves and the birds and talking to the environment and nature, you know, they're very therapeutic. And it's, you know, you're out of the house, you're away from the radio, all this stuff that's really making us sick nowadays. So everyone, you know, if I give you any 2 cents, start meditating. Get off the news, get off Instagram. If you want to open up your heart chakra, you need to really be loving all day long. You can't be involved in anything that's bad. Anything that's going to set you back, you know, if it's people, if it's the radio, just get off it. Just get away from it and just, you know, spread the love, everyone. Hope you're having a good day. I love you all. Bye for now.